Got a clogged drain? We all know that feeling. The water stops draining and backing up, causing that sinking feeling in your stomach. You don't want to be dealing with plumbing problems. You start thinking to yourself, is there anything I can do before having to call a plumber in Overland Park? Fortunately, you can. The good news is that most clogged drains can be cleared with a little bit of patience and some effort on your part. Here are 8 do-it-yourself tips that you can try to clear a clogged drain before having to call an Overland Park plumber. Number 1 is try pouring a half cup of salt down the drain, followed by a bucket of hot boiling water. Continue flushing with very hot tap water until the drain runs clearly. Number 2, for a drain that you suspect hair is contributing to the clog, you can try pouring a bottle of Nair or other similar leg hair removal product down the drain. Let it work for 20 to 30 minutes and then pour very hot water down the drain. The Nair will continue working to break down the hair and the gunk as it moves down the pipes and drains. Number 3, if grease is the culprit in your clog, then try pouring some Dawn dish soap down the drain. Dawn is designed to break up grease as it cleans. Again, let it work for a little bit and then follow it with some boiling hot water. Tip number 4, for slow running drains, you can break up the clog by pouring a half box of baking soda down the drain and then pour a cup of white vinegar on it. The baking soda and vinegar will begin to react by foaming and bubbling, so you may want to cover the drain with a rag or towel. Don't be peering down into the drain because you certainly don't want anything shooting back up into your eyes. When it stops foaming, flush the drain with very hot water for several minutes. Tip number 5, sometimes you can clear up a clogged drain problem with a simple plunger. Most people are familiar with using a plunger on a toilet, but a separate plunger can be used to clear a clogged drain. You want to make sure you get a good seal around the drain and use a considerable amount of force in pressing the plunger down several times over your clogged drain. Tip number 6, if you can get to the drain pipe, then try opening it up and pushing a hose down into the pipe. Use rags or towels to plug the hose down into the drain and then turn your water on as fast as you can to let the water pressure flush out the clog for you. Tip number 7, with sinks you can usually get at the P-trap underneath the sink. The P-trap is that little U-shaped or P-shaped pipe underneath the sink. There's a connection on either side of the U that usually can be removed by hand. Now you'll want a bucket or a pan underneath the trap when you take it off to catch excess water. Then just use a coat hanger or a bottle brush to clean out the trap before reinstalling it. Tip number 8, if it's not the trap or maybe you're not dealing with a sink drain, then maybe you want to try a pipe snake that can be purchased for around $30 at your local hardware store. A snake winds down into the drain pipe and twists the clog to break it up, or maybe you'll be able to pull it back up out of the drain. Unclogging your drains may be a hassle, but you should be able to get most clogs cleared in an hour or less by following some of these tips. If all else fails, you need to hire a professional plumber, because you certainly don't want to end up doing more damage that could cost you way more in the long run. For a complete guide of tips for hiring an Overland Park plumber, visit www.kcbestplumber.com. Make sure you know all the steps to take before hiring a plumber and allowing them into your home.